Welcome to our another episode of the C-suite level interview, and we've got a very distinguished guest today. He is a very good gentleman, Mark Assaf from UNCTAD. So we'd like to listen from him straight away. Dear Mark, can you please introduce yourself and tell us how are you today?
Well, allow me to start by thanking you, Dr. Assaf Chowdhury, for this interview. It's always a pleasure to see people that are motivated by this leadership and what people do in life. And so my name is Mark Assaf. I work for the United Nations. I'm an economist by background. I studied finance also way back, and then I finished somehow into the maritime port sectors, working in the UN for this capacity building program that I'm very fortunate to run because it's run around the world in many places, from Argentina all the way to the Philippines, in 3 languages. So that challenges me also to work on my skills of languages, French being my first native language, then English, and then also Spanish. And this career in the UN has been a blessing to me. I've been here over 20 years, starting in the field in the West Africa. So I was based in Benin, on the west coast of Africa, covering countries like Gabon, Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, etc. And then I moved back to headquarters here in Geneva, where the UN Trade and Development has got, we are around 600 staff, and allowing me to expand the program and other ventures we are doing.
Great, great, great. Thanks for the introduction, dear Mark. Now, for the general public, for the general people, United Nations, it's a huge organization, and sometimes we do not understand specifically different or specific agencies' role of the United Nations. Can you please share with us, particularly your responsibility or currently what you're doing from UNCTAD so that we can understand a little bit better?
Yeah. So as you say, the UN, it's a big family. I mean, the UN is about 200,000 staff in around over 200 locations in the world. We have 195 member states in the United Nations, and depending on the way you do your statistics and you define nation states, we're covering basically everybody. This is a body also that was built after the 2 world wars, and there was a creation for a purpose to maintain peace and make sure the quality of life of the people on this planet, everybody on this planet, could increase. That was lessons learned from history. So for my side, my small level, what I'm doing, it's really something I'm passionate about. It's working on this capacity building program with port authorities around the world and also actors of port communities to really boost efficiencies, because we know that as humans, we like to exchange, we like to trade, we need goods, services from other places. We could not all just survive on where we stand. It has been part of the human nature to move, immigrate, etc. And therefore, water in general has been used by humans to move, displace this big quantity cargo. And there comes this importance of ports, maritime sectors. And we could see now in what's happening in the news, this as a strategic asset. It has become very important. At the same time, it is a message of hope, where you open your ports, you open your country to trade, because to trade you have this dialogue, you maintain this aspect of peace, and this is very crucial. So at my level, I'm managing this program with partners, and partners at the level of ports, depending on the languages. So ports in Spain, in France, in Belgium, also in the Ireland and Northern Ireland, UK, because of the different languages. And I even had partnerships in Portuguese at some stage with some ports in Portugal. Unfortunately, due to funding, we had to stop. But this is the scope of activities I'm covering. And the two other segments that are becoming more and more important, it's on trade statistics, international trade statistics, and also digital economy and e-commerce. Those are two other components I'm managing.
Fantastic, great responsibility. I'm sure you always go through the busy time. But Mark, I would like to just ask you, whenever you were at your university studies, I'm sure maybe you were not thinking about that one day you're going to work at UNCTAD. I mean, I wanted to just know once you were a youth, what was in your mind, what you wanted to become, and then how did you end up in UNCTAD?
Yes, this is a good one. Thank you, Asif. Absolutely. When I started studying, I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo at the time. Then I moved back to Belgium for my studies at the Université Libre de Brussels, Free University of Brussels. And my mindset at the time, I wanted to work in banks. But somehow I was applying only in banks for a year, and no banks wanted me. So this is, life is like that. You
Uh,
don't always get what you want. And so after actually there was this shortage of people with IT skills at the time in around 2000, if you remember, and they were retraining people. So I did kind of retraining with Simon Nixdorf and Microsoft. So I got to be a Microsoft certified product specialist and everything. And when I was just about to change my career from being an economist to being an IT person with this reconversion, then came this opportunity to work for the United Nations. Through the government of Belgium, I started as a junior program officer, financed by my government, and then taken over by the UN system, and then got the virus. When you start working for an international organization, you get to meet people, different cultures, and that really clicked with me, with my nature and the way I see things and this humanism side of me. So that's how I finished finally in the UN.
yeah. Good. Really inspiring. So you never know where you're going to end up. So the messaging should be for our global audience: keep on moving, keep on believing yourself, and don't be frustrated. Don't stuck yourself. If there is something says no to you, maybe there is somebody is willing to say yes to you. So keep on going. That's a good messaging indeed. So Mark, I would like to just ask you, I mean, in two different short parts. One is from your current role that you've been playing for UNCTAD, what's your future agenda or future vision from your work perspective? That's I wanted to know. Mark from UNCTAD, in terms of the future priorities or future wish. Another one I would like to just know, just simply as a Mark, as an individual, what's your future dream?
Very good. On the first part, professionally, so my aspirations are really to expand the program we are working on. This is, I mean, a real satisfaction to work and see that what you have built and the services you're proposing, the activities you develop, this networking aspect has an impact in the field. As you mentioned on your first question, the UN is a big family, but what exactly are you doing in the UN? And some people might question, but what is the UN doing with all these things around us? So at my level, this is really the vision I want to expand on this program because I believe in it. I know the impact is strong and the people that are beneficiaries are also contributing to it. They are cost financing it, cost sharing. And what I need is really to have a vision to develop it, expand it more. But for that, I will need more support, more partnerships. And that's what I try to do, mixing my time, trying to find for that. But I have to confess, this is probably, if I had to say a weakness, this is something I don't spend enough time because I'm too focused on the operations that I love and for which I have a passion. But this is the vision I want to bring in the next 5 to 10 years, really bringing this program to the scope it deserves and increasing partnerships and beneficiaries around the world and expanding languages also. So this is for the part of Mark as a UN civil
Yeah.
servant, international civil servant. Now on the part of Mark, my aspirations is that I've always been a curious guy and very interested in other cultures and these aspects of what the people are doing around the world. And through my career in the UN, that is quite long now, I've had really this chance that I really, I'm very blessed with that I've had the chance to mix work, professional and social, understanding how people functions, what are their constraints, what do they believe in. And I could see wherever I've been, wherever the places, the culture, the religions, it has been very, very close to the human heart. And this is my real aspiration. I mean, we live in a world that is tense now. I'm hoping it's just a wave, It's a tsunami style, but even a tsunami has to land somewhere. It cannot stay high all the time. So my hope is really that at some stage, some people in this world will make sense. The dialogue is super important, and this is a bit the diplomatic part kicking inside of me. I'm too much in operation. So this is my real aspirations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark. Now, just we'd like to end up our session with your final statement. If you have any advice or if you would like to make any comment for the global citizen or for your industry or for general youth, feel free. We'd like to just end up with Mark's statement.
Well, you're very kind to me, Assaf. I would not dare giving like advice. I just want to share my experience. And actually, I can tell you, I'm very inspired also by all of the different levels, being from the younger people that start in the professional life to all the way to those more experienced that sometimes in some countries, we say, well, they're not good to go anymore. We need to replace them. I've been inspired, believe me, by 15 years old to 75 years old. I think it comes in the nature of everybody of us. I don't like to stratify too much. And even at my level, sometimes I forget people, they come and work and I've been told, but no, we cannot put them at that position. They're too young. And I'm like, oh, okay, I never thought about age, I listen to people. I see what drives them. And I think this is the message for anybody that starts at any age, any time. Believe in what you're doing. And if you know you're doing the right thing, there will be a path that will open to you. So keep faith and keep looking towards the light. So yeah, that's from my side.
Thanks a lot, Mark. This is very, very important one you touched, believing yourself. Because if you don't believe yourself, how do you expect others to believe and invest trust on you? This is a very good messaging. Thanks a lot, Mark, for your time. I'm sure if our conversation, if it inspires even a single individual of this earth, we'll be satisfied. That's our satisfaction. Thanks a lot, Mark, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Assis Chaudhuri. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.